The true spirit within a church is the congregation of the people seeking Christ's love and enlightenment, not necessarily the ones that are leading the congregation. The sanctity of religious belief is the scripture itself, not the ones that stand in front of us teaching us the scripture and preaching the glory without the sacrifice. This is why limiting your biblical interpretations to one source can be the most damning influence in your life, and you wouldn't even notice. The easiest way to control the masses is to deceive them to the people that they have always been taught to trust. Government and religious institutions are two entities that we are taught to revere from birth. They influence all and have the most power and ability to control large populations. Both, when governed by noble and virtuous people, have the ability to prosper and embrace every living being. However, once these institutions become tainted, they have the ability to destroy the lives and the moral fabric of everything in existence, and I believe we have reached that reality. The biggest threat comes from those that control information. When the victors of war are the ones that control the history, it is difficult to tell what is real and what is just his story. Even more so, when you destroy cultural artifacts, statues, and the monuments that once acknowledged the history, good or bad, they remind us of how far we have come and remind us not to make the same mistakes we've made in the past. Although technology makes it more difficult to hide current events, it can still be manipulated and suppressed when the platforms providing information are controlled by the same ones controlling religion and government. It only takes a few generations to conceal and repackage the truth. God intended us to live the moment, while learning from our past and making a better future. Instead of seeking spiritual mindfulness, we get hypnotized by social status, materialism, and the need to constantly be entertained. With our eyes focused on monitors, movie screens, and cell phones, we become distracted from reality, more antisocial, lazier, and subservient, while aloof to the fact that everything was designed to make us willingly surrender our control. Revelations in the Bible refers to a one-world government and a one-world religion. I could never understand how it could possibly happen when everybody has at least heard of what transpires in the apocalypse. But the devil is keen. While shuffling his pieces slowly, we do not even see the movements, all while infiltrating our governments, religious institutions, and controlling the knowledge we teach our children, all for the single purpose of keeping us focused on earthly knowledge and not heavenly wisdom. In the last 4 years, the push for a global one-world government has become more than apparent. God saw that when man comes together, like at the Tower of Babel, they try to conspire and remove him from the equation, which is why we ended up spread around the world speaking many different languages. Today, we are being lured back into that reality through the deceptive call of complete tolerance, social justice, and global unity, which is the sole reason the global elite despise national patriotism. Using climate, the only thing that affects us on a global scale, to scare us into submitting to a global alliance in hopes of achieving a solution for a problem that doesn't even exist. The hardest thing in my life I've had to accept was that the devil could use religion as a weapon. In 325 AD in Istanbul, known then as Constantinople, Catholicism gained its roots, eventually becoming what it is today, Roman Catholic, which is run worldwide by the Holy See. What I believe was once a pure religious institution, the Holy See eventually found itself indebted to the devil in the 1800s in a loan agreement made with Lord Rothschild. The debt was never meant to be paid back in currency, but in control. Although I'm sure the original deal was made with desperation and honest intention soon after the Napoleonic War. Every pope after was picked by the Rothschild Empire, and each was indebted like their predecessors. The changes were soft and subtle at first, as they were waiting for the social construct to evolve before they could make their more radical changes, eventually even displaying unholy symbols within the grounds of worship, including one of Lucifer himself. Even the Protestant churches have become heavily influenced while preaching outside of the scripture, inviting sin into the church, supporting extreme liberal causes, and twisting verses to fit new social trends and being politically correct. While many churches are holding hour-long Sunday music venues and no longer preaching the scripture of Christ at all. The more obvious are the Christian empire churches that preach the glory over scripture, when the truth is that the scripture is what will bring us our glory. Recently, I have seen many things in Revelations unfolding and becoming more obvious every day. I am observing an aggressive push towards a one-world government and a false prophet who is no longer hiding in the shadows of the Holy See. All in the last few years, the Pope has diminished the importance of Christ, sided with Islam over Christians, and declared that everyone will be accepted into heaven, including atheists. And he has publicly supported claims of evolution and the Big Bang Theory, which are all steps meant to entice the world into a religion that we can all embrace, which in reality is just the ultimate form of global control. Soon, like in the scripture, the false Messiah will enter the stage, destroying this false prophet, already in complete control, and already having the stage set for his very temporary rule.
Who in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it. Mine. I'm peeking, Kevin. It's my time now.
All in the complex architecture of a plan meant to deceive mankind. The fallen angel has designed the social structure of this world so well that he literally has people willing to sell their souls to be part of his system. And they all think it's a metaphor until the devil comes to collect.
That was his power. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.